The cryptocurrency markets are in absolute disarray. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum are not looking good on a macro level. So on today's show, we'll talk about some very, very bearish scenarios that could potentially happen in the near future. Another thing that I want to discuss is I do believe that this is a bear cycle, and I'm starting to get bear market vibes. But at the same time, I still do think that we may have some sort of relief pump sometime in July. And I'm thinking around the end of July. That could very well be that melt-up theory. But I don't think this melt-up theory is going to send us to 100,000 Bitcoin, 80,000 Bitcoin. I feel like it is going to be another higher low. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts. Now, I want to take some time and cover both Bitcoin and Ethereum and talk about potential bearish scenarios because a lot of people are a little bit nervous right now. But before we do that, I want to analyze the current daily chart. We have been trading in a very tight range between approximately 31.1 and this area here at 28.5. Yes, we did have some swing lows to 27.5 that are denoted here, and we had an extra swing wick low on 25.2. So a lot of people are nervous. Will Bitcoin break support? Will we continue to dump? Well, right now it is looking likely. And again, you guys, this is going to be more of a macro analysis. So what we're looking at here with Bitcoin, we're looking for a bullish scenario to break out above 32.1 and retest probably $34,000. But I wouldn't be bullish with Bitcoin unless we get above $40,000 where our EMA 200 is. And again, if you don't know what EMAs are, I have a video explaining this. Also, Investopedia is 100% free. And then, of course, our bearish scenario would be a break below 28.5, and that's an actual close. I'm talking about seeing one of these candle bodies actually close underneath 28.5 and then falling to about $25,000. But I want to take you to this chart over here. So I have denoted July 20th because if you look back at historic history that we saw last year when Bitcoin had that gnarly drop from approximately $65,000 to about $28,000, we rebounded and we tested all-time highs. But that bounce really happened at the end of July, and I'm kind of getting similar vibes, which is why I haven't called a bear market yet. And the whole Terra Luna debacle situation didn't help any way, shape, or form. But I'm not going to admit that this is not very bearish price action. Really, the only positive thing that I'm seeing on the Bitcoin chart is this tight consolidation between 31.4 and approximately $28,000. But right now, what I'm looking at, I'm looking for a break above 31,000. Again, that's going to be the crucial area. But Market Cipher just printed a red dot, and that generally indicates some more downward movement. So this area here, 26,000, is going to be the end all be all for me. However, I want to show you this macro picture of what I think could potentially happen with Bitcoin. Generally in bear markets, Bitcoin drops 80 to 85%. And if we take the all-time high with the swing wick high that occurred on November 8th at about $69,000, and we draw it to about 85% down, you can see that we stop at about $12,000 and we could potentially get below $10,000 again. This is going to be a very bearish scenario. This isn't going to occur overnight. This is going to be in the next 1 to 2 years with Bitcoin. And please keep in mind, all of this time over here, November 26, 2018 to approximately April 15, 2019, we range between approximately $3,000 and $9,000 with Bitcoin. Bear markets can be a little bit scary. And we didn't finally break out until November of 2022, October, November of 2020. Then we have that DeFi summer, etc. But if we take a look and we use our date range here, we can see that we are in this bearish cycle at this low for approximately 700 days. So kind of close to 2 years. So the melt-up theory still stands. I think that we 100% can still do that, but I don't think it is going to be breaking all-time highs with Bitcoin. I think it could potentially be a run up to like $48,000. That would be kind of contingent on us holding support between 27 and maybe even $24,000, $25,000. Again, we can have swing wick lows, and this scenario could be 100% incorrect. But long term, I do think over the summer, we do have the opportunity to potentially run up to about 48,000. Probably going to trap a bunch of people. People are going to think we're back in this bull run, which in fact we are not. It's still going to be classified as the bear market. Now, after this happens, I think that we're going to have a gnarly dump, and we'll probably test these low levels of $12,000 and probably below. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Wendy, $19,000 is super, super strong support because that was a previous all-time high back in 2017. I think we'll probably go below it. There's a lot of crazy things that are going to be happening with laws, legislation regarding crypto, especially we're in a very uncertain time when it comes to this recession that we know that we're going to enter, the money printing, etc. So this is kind of my plan for Bitcoin, what I'm looking for long term. And again, I'm going to have bids set all the way down to probably $9,000 Bitcoin. And what I plan to do is accumulate quite a few Bitcoin and then swing trade that later, and then probably sell quite a bit of it at about $100,000 because I do have conviction in Bitcoin. I do think that it will go up. But again, this is kind of still a risky play because what happens if Bitcoin doesn't go up? It is still a volatile asset. But that's my trading plan. This is kind of what I'm looking at here. Now, let's cover Ethereum. This is the Ethereum daily chart. And again, very, very similar pattern to Bitcoin. We are below the EMA 200. This is looking very gnarly. And we did have a swing wick low that kissed all the way down to $1,700. Again, with Ethereum, we had an all-time high, approximately $4,800, which broke the previous all-time high when Ethereum kissed $4,300 back May 2021. Now, as far as an 85% correction with Ethereum, which, kind of happened back in 2017, that would put us at around $750 for Ethereum. I got quite a bit of my Ethereum below $500, so I'm okay here. But I may consider doing the same thing that I'm doing with Bitcoin and accumulating more Ethereum in this area. And I would probably set bids down to $500 as well because I enjoy getting dumped on. Now, one positive thing I see about this is we've got all this consolidation between approximately 2135 and this area here at 1878. But right now it's looking like we're going to get a little bit bearish. And as far as Ethereum goes, if Bitcoin does decide to do that melt up end of July, or if it does do a melt up at all, I would kind of follow that same pattern that we would probably retest this area at about $3,500. It's not going to be the all-time high of Ethereum. But again, I could be wrong. This is just what I'm feeling in the market. And please correct me. I don't mind that at all. But I feel like we would probably get a relief pump to $3,500. This is a long-term plan. This is not going to happen today. It's not going to happen next week, maybe in the upcoming months. But it's going to kind of be contingent on what Ethereum decides to do. But right now, Market Cipher printed that red dot, and it looks like we're going to break support here at $1,800 and retest 17 there. Now, when we take a look at Ethereum, the market structure is a tad bit different, and I feel like we have a lot more volatility that has been able to establish previous support or, in some cases, resistance. So, the areas that I'm looking at that are important to me with Ethereum, 1500 is important, 1290 is important, and 750 I would like to call the bottom, and I hope that I'm correct about that. But overall, this structure is looking bearish long term. However, if you do want to go ahead and scalp, swing trade this, whatever it is, please make sure that you are an experienced trader, because if we zoom in, and this is going to go with Bitcoin, altcoins, and all this other stuff. If we zoom in, look at all this chop. This is really hard to trade. It is not easy to trade. This is the 45-minute chart. And if we look at some of the lower time frames, even lower than 45-minute, the 15 or the 30-minute, those are going to be the exact same pattern. It's just a lot of chop, and a lot of people are going to lose money. So it's okay to take a step back. Now, when we're taking a look at the 45-minute chart, it's looking like we had this relief bounce, but realistically, we need to kind of get back over 1979. Overall, when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, I hope that this bearish scenario I have for the long-term bear market is incorrect. We don't dump to these low levels. But another part of me is like, yes, I want to get dumped on. I want to be able to create a master swing for later on. Either way, I do think the Terra Luna situation has caused a lot of issues in the market with regulation, with FUD. Then we have the Coinbase issue coming out saying that if you leave your funds on exchanges and they go bankrupt, they can obtain your funds, whatever it is. A lot of crazy stuff has been happening. So that's why I've been a little bit weary with calling this an actual bear market, because something's feeling off. Something's not feeling right to me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Sending you all love and light. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST live streaming with some amazing folks in NFTs. Plus, I've got a video dropping for you soon. Bye-bye.